If you found this video because you are just getting started on your health journey, then you are at the right place. Today, I'm going to go over 5 things that you should know in order to start a health journey that is not only effective, but is also sustainable for the long run. So stay tuned. What's up guys, Newton Kwong here, helping you with long-term tips and strategies on how to eat better and live healthier. All of the information in today's video is for educational purposes only. If you are looking for medical advice, then go seek a healthcare professional. Alright, so there are literally 1,000,001 ways in which you can start off your health journey, your weight loss journey, whatever it may be. And I want to address that first. Tip number 1 is to start off with what you already know. I know it's very easy to research into the very best ways to accomplish the goal that you're seeking. And that's great that you want information. That's great that you want to have the best possible plan to get to where you want to go. There are downsides of doing that as well, because we may get very overwhelmed with the information that we find. What I suggest is that you start off with something that you know for certain is something that you're going to have to do. What this could look like is getting a gym membership and just starting off with the treadmill. Or you can start drinking more water throughout the day. You can buy a salad for lunch. You can start incorporating more fruit and vegetables into your diet. Start off with something that you know for sure is going to lead you to a healthier life, and then build off of the momentum. Over time, you can start acquiring more information on how to optimize your journey towards the goal that you have. However, doing too much optimization at the start can slow you down. We want to be avoiding information overload, because that's going to lead to analysis paralysis. We're going to feel defeated before we even start. Know that you're going to continually learn, not only from the information that you read from websites, from YouTube videos, but you'll also learn from your own personal experiences of what works uniquely for you and your lifestyle. What matters is that you take action, and you take the action that makes the most sense now. Make mistakes along the way, because in those mistakes you get to learn what is most appropriate for you. The second tip is to focus on changing lifestyle habits. When we're talking about long-lasting change, we're talking about consistently choosing the right things to do. This means that we want to be aligning our lifestyle habits to the goals that we want to achieve. It is in our habits in which we determine our fate. It's going to be useful for us to invest more time into developing practices that are going to be sustainable and make sense within our daily lives. We want to be setting up something called behavior goals. There are 2 types of goals. There are outcome goals, where you want to lose 20 pounds, you want to lose 30 pounds. And then there's something called behavior goals. I want to work out 3 times a week. I want to go swimming on the weekends. I want to be eating vegetables for at least 2 of my meals during the day. Behavior goals are what's going to create the habits that's going to lead to the results that we want. Although it's very nice for us to know what our target is, what our outcome goal is, and for most people it's going to be weight loss, losing 10, 20, 30 pounds. It's even better to know the steps that are involved in it, and then making sure that those steps are ingrained within our habits. That way we get to keep the results that we're going for. So break down your goal into separate behaviors, and then work on the behavior that you are most confident in being able to repeat consistently. Because once you're able to do that, then it becomes a habit for you. Focus on the habits, focus on the actions, because the results come from the actions, and the consistent actions are your habits. The third tip is to work with small changes. We want to start off slow in the beginning. One of the worst things that we can do is to go all in, go pedal to the metal, and burn ourselves out before we even get started. This happens a lot to people who are overly ambitious and a little bit impatient for getting to their desired destination. It's easy to underestimate the amount of time and the level of consistent effort that's required to get to the goal that we want. The most effective way to build up the lifestyle habits that I was discussing earlier is to work with small changes. Once we achieve a certain small change, then we'll layer on top of it another small change. And then over time, we'll have a whole new set of lifestyle habits. Start off with something easy. When it comes to physical activity, an example might be to take a 10-minute walk. Then as you become successful in implementing these small changes, you're going to ride on that momentum to build up to something bigger. So this tip of working with small changes, it really coincides and it's the same tip as what I started off this video saying, which is to start off with what you already know. Living healthier is actually quite a simple process. The steps are quite simple. They're almost common sense. The hard part is doing them consistently. What are these steps? It's to move more, go to the gym, lift weights, eat a balanced diet, get enough sleep, drink more water, and have good social relationships, as well as enjoy meaningful work and meaningful play. We don't have to have all of those areas dialed in to 100%, but if we have a few of those areas in which we can maintain relatively good control over, then we're going to find ourselves in a pretty healthy spot. It's important that we're patient because the effort in this long-term approach that we're taking is going to lead to long-term sustainable change. If you're getting value out of this video so far, then please like this video, consider subscribing to my channel for more tips like these. And my question to you is, which one of these tips do you find most helpful for you right now? What is one thing that you can get started on today? I'm curious as to what that is, so post it in the comments so that I can see and so that I can help you out in the future video as well. Tip number 4 is to measure your progress. This is a step that most people do not take. It's great to take action. It's great to go to the gym. It's great to get in physical activity and to eat healthier. However, it's even greater when we know that we are making progress in our actions. In order for us to know that, we've got to be able to track where we actually are and what changes that we're making to constantly elevate us into the next level. So let's say that you've selected a particular habit that you're going to practice consistently over the next 2 weeks. What you can do is you can track how many times that you've done the habit on a day-to-day basis. If for the past month, let's say that it's to walk 10 minutes a day. If you were able to do that 3 times a week during the first week, and then you saw that you were able to do that 5 times the next week, you know that you are making progress in that area. You know that you are mastering that particular activity and then ingraining it as a habit. We want to be tracking relevant data points that are related to the specific goal that we're after. So how many workouts did you do during this past week? How many salads do you eat during this past week? Or maybe how many times you've slept before 10 p.m. this past week? It's important to know this type of frequency that we're operating with when it comes to our selected habits. In the previous examples that I mentioned, that was keeping track of the progress that we made in our actions rather than the progress in the outcomes that have occurred so far. We are tracking the progress of the actions that lead to the results instead of tracking the progress in the results in themselves. If we were to track progress in weight lost, there may be days in which our weight increases despite all of the correct actions that we're doing. And in that case, if we were solely relying on our success on the number that comes up on the scale, then we're gonna feel pretty bad about ourselves. So what I'm proposing is that we put more weight towards the actions that we do rather than, let's say, a number on the scale. We can also keep track of qualitative measures as well. Let's say that you want to be more energetic throughout the day. You can come up with your own qualitative measure on your energy level throughout the day, such as how many coffees you've had to drink throughout the day. And if you see that the number of coffees that you have to drink is decreasing, then you have a reliable indicator that you have higher levels of natural energy. You can also take note of how you feel emotionally, what your mood level is. Do you feel less lethargic? Do you feel more upbeat? Do you feel more sociable? Do you feel more joyous? Do you feel less tired? Do you feel less irritable? Those are all things that are relevant data points, things to keep note of. Although they are not numbers from a scale, they are definitely signs of progress. The next tip is to develop or find a supportive environment. The best thing that we can do is find people who are willing to engage in the activity that we're about to embark on. It's one thing to have people give you verbal support for what you're doing, but it's a whole nother level of support when they're actually joining in with you on your health journey. It provides another level of fun, interactivity, as well as accountability to achieve the goal that you set out for yourself. What that can look like is cooking together with friends, family, a significant other, going grocery shopping, going to fitness classes together, going to the gym together. If you can find one person, two people, a few people who are on board with what you're doing and they can join as well, then you're gonna find that this journey is gonna be a lot more fun and a lot easier to sustain for the long run. If you find yourself to be in an unsupportive environment, then this step is even more crucial for you. Do your best to find a community that is supportive and invest more of your time with them. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Are there any others that I'm missing? Of course, I'm missing a lot, and whatever you have in mind right now that you thought could have been a great addition to this video, add it in the comments down below so that other people who are reviewing this can also benefit from your tips as well. So if you have any questions on the video, anything that I said in this video, then please post it in the comments below. Check out some of my other videos on the next screen. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.